wasn't even planning on making a YouTube video, but how can you not? This is one of the best looking death adders I've ever seen. Now, it's not a typical Sydney red, we're far out of that range, but it is a red death adder. It's got this nice pink undertone and very faint, almost dark red bands. Aren't they just literally one of the best snakes in the world? I mean, look at that thing. That is stunning. That is one of the best death adders I've ever put my eyes on. Full defensive posture. And this is one of the fastest striking snakes on the planet. It does not get much better than this. How good. Alright, we're back out. I'm not sure where this video is actually picking up from. It's probably a night last week, herping. But we're back out to road cruise tonight. We're about an hour west of the Central Coast in New South Wales. It's about 30 degrees, or close to it, and it's only 7:15, so I can't imagine it's going to be cold tonight, which means the snakes should be out, but we'll see what we can find. Well, didn't take long. First snake of the afternoon / night. An absolutely stunning common tree snake. This is up there with one of the best looking tree snakes I've ever seen. Have a go at the colours on that thing. Blue flecks underneath the scales, yellow chin. That thing is so nice. I reckon he's going to bite too. I mean, these things aren't hard to find by any means, but for whatever reason, I just haven't seen anywhere near as many as I expect over the last season. So it is really nice to see one, especially out on the road, especially when it looks like this. I mean, have a go at the colours on that thing. Well, first reptile of the night, not one we haven't seen before. The Burton's legless is it. This is actually quite a large Burton's, but yeah, one that is definitely not hard to find. But she or he would be out here looking for reptiles, and that's what I'm doing. So I reckon I'm going to let this fella go his way and enjoy his night. Hey, are you kidding me? A death adder. I mean, it's not even dark yet. We just stopped for a Burton's. We got a tree snake this afternoon, and now an insanely weird looking death adder. I mean, it's got like orange bands in between brown. I've never seen that before. It does make sense. I mean, we've had a lot of low pressure systems build up, you know, over the last week, and today was really hot. So it is a good death adder night, but at this time, like, it's not even dark yet. How good is that? Look at the bands on that thing. It's a young female. You can see on the tail there, the taper. Tiny little head. I can't even speak, this is sick. So the death adders around here, last season and the season before, really hard to find. But this is the third one I've seen this season, and I don't know what's going on. At this area, that is. Third one at this area. This is insane. I mean, the variation in the adders here are pretty crazy too. Like last week, found a bright red one. The week before that, a grey one, and now this weird coloration. I mean, the habitat's really similar to that of Sydney, where it's just sort of spotted escarpment with build-up of leaves at the base of trees is typically where they're seen. But this thing is sick. Look at the bands on it. Oh my god. Well, I wasn't expecting to find that so early. However, I'm sure he's not the only one out on the road, so I reckon we're going to let this fella keep going, but that is insane. That's a good start to the night. Right, just stop for a snake. I wonder what it is. I don't think it's not a blind snake, because it kind of did look like one, if I'm honest. Here it is. Here it is. Big old shitworm. Well, off you go, big fella. Well, here we go. A bandy. I've actually seen a fair few this season, and I think it's due to the rain that we've had as well, flushing them out. But of course the humidity tonight's pretty high, so not a surprise, but definitely a welcome sight nonetheless. Actually, one of my all-time favourite snakes, to be honest, and they're a big reason that I'm into snakes so much. I mean, look at this thing. It's not even real. It's black and white bands, and there's a bull ant coming for him, which I'm not about. That can, hey, go away. That's right. Anyway, back to the snake. Cool little critter. I reckon, again, as I said before, I don't think he's the only one out, so let him keep punching, and yeah, get back on the road. How good's that? Little Bandy. Well, a live reptile. The one and only Burton's legless lizard. We're going to send this fella off in the bush, off the road, so he doesn't get squished. Looks like he's had some kind of injury back on the tail, but it's regen weird. Off you go, big dog. Well, what we came out for, the Stevens banded snake. One of 3 in the Hoplocephalus family. All have that big distinctive head and very distinctive attitude behind them. Very pugnacious. They love to bite everything. But I think Stevens are one of my probably my favourite out of the 3. They do get the largest, and they're supposedly the most toxic. Whether or not that's up-to-date information, I'm not sure. But an awesome snake, a privilege to have so close to home as well. We actually get both species of Hoplocephalus here, the broad-headed snake and the Stevens banded. The palehead is a bit further north and northwest, but yeah, this thing's awesome. Nice little snake, nice bands too. Not very variable. I mean, the bands of course are, but just swallowed a fly. The colours. God, some kind of bug just went literally into my lungs, but anyway. As I was saying, the Stevens banded. Yeah, I don't even know what else I'm going to say, to be honest. I'm probably just going to get a quick few photos and videos of this fella, but yeah, mad snakes. He'd be out here on the prowl for some frogs and lizards, but how good. The target of the night, very satisfying to see one. Alright, well, we're pulling up to the spot and we got the first snake of the night, little Eastern small-eyed, one we've seen a few times. But I think I've got a car coming up behind me. I'm probably just going to get this little fella off the road, but good to see a snake out nonetheless. Alright, hooroo, big mate. Alright, we made it to the first spot, this little dam. This is one of my favourite spots. I've seen a few snakes here before, but it's mainly good for frogs. You can hear the tusk frogs calling at the moment. But I can't see any snakes at the moment. We're going to come back here later just to check what's going on. Oh, there's no way. I just got that on video. Stevens. Oh my God. Have a go at the colours on that snake. That is one of the, you got the bull block out in the background. That is one of the best looking Stevens I've ever put my eyes on. Have a go at the patterns on it. That's sick. Wow. I just straddled this thing. I'm pretty sure you would have seen it on the video. I only noticed it in the last second, but that thing is drop dead gorgeous. Have a go at it. That's sick. I just can't get over this thing. I mean, look at it. Those bands are stunning. I think this is actually the first... Oh no, this is the second... Okay, this is the second only Stevens banded I've actually seen in this area. They're not uncommon here, but it's just been my luck. But that thing is nuts. Alright, we've pulled up at one of the spots, which is probably the main one, I suppose. Usually really good for frogs, snakes as well, but not as much as frogs. That's what we're here for. I don't really... I mean, sorry, I've got one target in mind for frogs, which is the red-eyed tree frog, which I haven't seen in like years, so it'd be cool to see. Why not? We got one straight away. This one here, probably one of the most common frogs, but one of the coolest too. It's the giant barred frog, ADDER. They're actually one of Australia's largest species of frog. I believe they're up there. They're probably this. I think they're the second largest. But there's 3 species of mixophies that inhabit this area: the stuttering barred frog, the greater barred frog, and the giant, which is what we just saw. There's another one up there. You can actually see if it focuses. I don't know if you can see the eye shine on the footpath there. We'll go have a look at him, see what species. But yeah, we're gonna walk down to the water. What are you? Oh, Itteratus, the giant barred. I'm sure we're gonna see plenty of these, but it's not a chore. Alrighty, this is the second species of mixophies for the night. This is the stuttering barred frog. It used to be Balbus, now is Australis, an endangered species, along with Itteratus, which is the giant barred frog. But at the Wadigans where we are, they're very common, but it's up north in their northern distribution that they're struggling. And where we are now is the most northern distribution for this fella, which is the stuttering barred, and they are also endangered, especially down in the southern parts, which is down in southern Sydney. But yeah, honestly, one of my favourites. How good's that? All right, well, let's go try and find the third, this bloke's cousin, and we'll see what happens. One of my favourite things about mixophies is the size of their tadpoles. This one here is the giant barred frog, and he's not even fully grown. They take 2 years to metamorph, and they basically just feed on algae and broken down debris in the water. And obviously, once they become a frog, they jump out and start eating insects. But I mean, look at them all. They're all over the stairs here, but this one's biggest. And you can tell he's Itteratus with those patterns. Balbus, or sorry, Australis, are a lot more pale in colour when they're tadpoles. Oh my god, there you go. There's there's one right there. Do you want to move that leaf, Tilly? I've got the size of that thing. It's like a fish. Oh, it's actually nuts. All right, well, I mean, it's snake-like in shape, but not a snake. Got an eel. Actually, I think I've seen this exact eel on many occasions, but he's still kicking. Just to give you an idea of how big these frogs actually are, I mean, this is one of the larger ones I've seen. It's a big frog. Wow, I'd say that has to be a female, but I'd have to pick her up to see if their pads were there or not. Either way, these things are sick. This isn't the biggest one I've seen, but it's up there. Like, that's a big frog. Snake. Don't know, I think this might be a dwarf crown snake. Where is he? Oh no, oh yeah. Dwarf crown snake. I thought we would have seen more of these by now, but yeah. Actually very similar to, I think it's a species in America called the ringneck. And very similar in the fact that they are very common, but they are an elapid. It's mildly venomous. Probably, from what I've heard, although I don't actually know anyone that's been bitten, but you know, in relation to other species, it's much like a bee sting, their bite, but obviously subjective to the person who gets bitten by them. They're a mad little snake. This is actually one of the species that shocked me the most. I mean, one of the first times I come up to this area, I experienced what was nothing more than basically a plague of dwarf crown snakes, and I literally seen over 30 snakes in about 10 meters of leaf litter, just like this. And the only logical explanation I can come up with is a female's gone along and dropped basically a pheromone, and all the boys have come out onto it. But there was also a golden crown there as well, which I think that might have got confused. But I'm hoping to see that again, and I was hoping to see it tonight. So this fella's on the move. It's the right time of the year. I'll see if we can experience that, but I highly doubt it. It's not very common. No more than literally 20 meters later, got another, something just jumped off the bush, sorry. Got another dwarf crown snake. Now I think it might be worth starting to shine this side of the road as well, because this is kind of what happened last time. We started stopping for snakes, dwarf crown snakes. We got, a lot, like, one every kind of 100 meters, and then eventually we just sort of turned to the side and saw 30 of them. So I'm going to start shining the sides, but it is a good sign. I mean, this, judging off the tail though, does look like a female. I'm not going to say that's 100%, just the way it tapers and how short it is. I think that is a female. But if we start seeing a lot of males, we might be in luck, but we'll see what happens. Well, here we go. We've got the trio. This is the third species of Mixophes. So this is the greater barred frog, fasciolatus. As you can see, they're lots more than the other two, especially compared to Iteratus, but still mad frogs. And they get this really nice, almost peachy pink colour. This one's a little bit drab, a bit brown. It's got those small bars on the back legs, but still really cool to see. And that's actually his call over there. I don't know when this car goes past. Let's see if we can hear it. All right, it wasn't one car, it was like 15, but did you hear that? Come on, surely does again. Anyway, here's a better example of the greater barred frog. I mean, I suppose it's not really that much different on the phone, but this one is a little bit more lighter in coloration, a bit more vibrant. Yeah, and they've almost looked like they're always sleeping. And there's actually another one right next to me, which I did not see. Look at him. There we go, another brown one. That's pretty cool. Anyway, let's continue looking for snakes. That's mad. I was just shining the side of the road here to see if I could see any snakes on the side, and we've got an eastern water dragon sleeping out there in the cave. That's sick. Have we got the size of that thing? God damn. Anyway, he's still a shitworm, so please move off the road.